Hello, fellow gamers. Welcome to I'd Back That Kickstarter with Gloryhoundd and
DrGloryhogg.
Today we're talking about 4 very special, lovely Kickstarters. And hello to our chat today. There's a ton of you in chat today. How are you all doing?
Your hair has a little bit of a poof. You're like, hello, everybody. And your hair is like, I don't know like what it's doing in the front.
It's that freshly washed poof. Like, I just washed it, so it's, yeah, there's not much I can do about that.
It's like
okay?
a whole level of poof that's happening that I'm very
This is the straightened
by.
poof. This is the straightened poof.
It's like
This is
whenever
all I do.
It's like when you take a poodle to like the groomer and then it
You
gets
get them
like,
brushed out, and they're like,
it's just like a lot of volume. I don't know how I feel about all this volume right now.
hello, everyone. Oh, we have Julie in chat as well. Thank you so much for joining us so we can talk about Lost Ones today.
Which is great, because Julie hasn't done anything today. I think she's just been sitting around.
No, she did the thing with Rachel Blasky. What, you're invited, right?
And she might be at Shucks right now, too.
Oh, and you're at Shucks right now? Oh my gosh, you're so busy today. Thank you for hanging out with us, Julie. We really appreciate that.
What's crazy about the music is we don't actually hear it on our end. So I only hear it when I go back and look at our videos for whatever reason.
And then you remember, then you have like the refresh.
I feel
Have
like
you
that's
heard
it, right?
our music before?
Is that not it? Did you change it? That's it. That's the music.
Oh my goodness, we have Battle Cry in chat. Omar, Fatal Paper Cut, Kabuki Kid, hello, hello.
Undead Vikings, which is representing Gray Fox Games.
Perfect, thank you so much.
Drawlabs, Jeff.
Jeff, that's
Heather,
right.
Andrew.
I hope we got everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
More. Not everybody always types in here all the time.
We appreciate all of you showing up today, okay? So first up, we have Lost Ones. This is by Greenbrier Games. This is for...
Oh, that's where we're starting, huh?
1 to 4 players, absolutely. And this should last about 90 minutes. What this is sort of a tile-laying game-esque game, but it is a storytelling game. So you're going to be putting tiles out on the board, and you're going to be exploring these. DrGloryhogg, do you want to talk a little bit more about the theme on this one? Because I know you're super into the theme. What? Or I guess, what are your thoughts on this?
Like, she's like, and toss it to you. No, it's very interesting because you're like in this like nightmare world, right? And you're trying to find a way out and exploring tiles. I think the thing that drew me into this the most is that we've played other Greenbrier games. We enjoyed the playthrough we did of, of course, can't think of it now.
I don't even know why you're here today.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm out of it today. We got to play a little demo of that, but then when we played Champions of Horror, I really enjoyed that storyline. And so I feel like this kind of has that same type of vibe where as you're exploring stuff, you're unlocking these little bits of story, right? And it's got a very much like kind of a choose your own adventure style where you have to do different things. Please don't move my ship. This is the ship that won me the game last night, okay?
God.
So it needs to be
I don't even want to talk
shot.
to you about that right now.
And this was the prince that came to save me. So I like that you've got like these different options, right? So if you run across somebody like knocked out in the woods, you got to decide, like, do we check to see if they're still alive? Do we just leave? Do we, try to, I don't know, like look through their pockets for XP and money? Like, I don't know, what do you when you find somebody? You
don't walk up on somebody and directly just check their pockets for no reason. That's rude, Doctor.
If I find somebody on the ground and they're knocked out, first I look for identification, then I look for XP, then I look for jewels or magical items that they might have on them, or like loose gold coins. That's the only reason why you like loot a dead body, right?
No. The art in this, by the way, Julie,
everybody's different.
Is just amazing.
Both sides.
Is amazing. The art in this instantly draws me into what's happening here. The art on the tiles, the characters, like the little minis that are created for this. Everything just instantaneously draws me in. I think there's some other storytelling games.
There's maracas right here.
There's other storytelling games that I've seen in the past where, I don't know, it looks a little bit more plain, or a little bit more...
This is a plane, the nightmare plane.
No. I mean, like, this has that...
What are the claw hands for?
I don't know if anybody has ever played Myst. It was a game from, like, a long time ago.
I'm pretty sure that was an award-winning game. I think you're the only one that actually played it, though. Just you.
Whatever. Whenever you first looked at that game was instantaneously just like brought you in just by the art and the visualization of that.
I don't know if anyone's seen this little play called A Midsummer's Night's Dream. I think it was written by somebody. It's very underground. No one's really seen it. Pretty sure I was the first person to watch it, but
wow.
Go ahead, continue.
Yes, Myst and Riven, exactly. Like, and that is instantaneously what this does with the art for me. It immediately makes me want to learn more about the story and what's going on here. And I enjoyed the story, like just the little story snippets from Champions of Hara that we read. Yeah, that were just so immersive and like.
Yeah, because Julie's involved, so there's always like really, really good story.
That's exactly it, because Julie's involved. So I'm really excited about this.
I don't know if like she wrote this one herself or she wrangled the writers together and just banged their heads until like it made it work or something, but there's always like a really good storyline with it. It's always like, I mean, I think, well, Champions of Hara is the only game that's ever made you cry, so that was pretty legit.
So that's very true. Champions of Hara did make me cry, like legitly.
If you want to see her cry, go watch Champions of Hara playthrough.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. So Kabuki Kid says, Myst for a while was the best-selling CD game of all time. I think that game was credited.
But have you played it, though? Like, has anyone ever played it? I think Gloryhound has. I don't know if anybody else has ever heard
Hello,
of this
Steven.
game.
Welcome to chat.
I actually tried this new candy. It's orange with like a little white tip. It looks kind of like corn a little bit. I'm going to call it candy corn, I think, but I'm not sure the full name. I don't know if anyone's ever tried it before.
So Petter says, I'm really excited for this one. I like the narrative part. The Greenbrier games was awesome in answering questions I had on Twitter. I have played both Myst and Riven. So that's awesome. Yeah, Julie is fantastic with making sure that she gets back to you with your questions and everything.
Why do we allow Petter to have a Twitter account? It just seems like a mistake. Like, did he run that by you? Because he didn't ask me before he set one up.
Undead Viking said they played and beat Myst and Riven. And that is quite the task, especially back in the day when not all of the super cheats were online all the time. Like, if you got stuck, you were just stuck for a while. Like,
yeah, have I ever told anybody how I was stuck playing, like, Mask of Majora forever? Like, I never beat it because I'd, like, joined the military before I could finish out, like, this one little part of it. And then afterwards, obviously, YouTube was invented, and I went back to look it up. And apparently you had to shoot a bomb from the ship. You had to, like, arrow a bomb, and it blew up, and that... I was like, I couldn't beat this level because of that.
That's where I got
stuck forever.
Oh, I beat Myst. Oh, I was there. But I spent a lot of hours in there, okay? Yes, right, Ryan? Those minis.
I don't think I ever beat Myst because it was like one of those things where my dad had a computer but my mom didn't. So that one weekend, like a one weekend.
Enough. That's not enough time for Myst.
It wasn't enough time to get like into Myst and like beat it.
So I love this particular character right here and the way it's sculpted with the hair and everything. Like,
and
these characters, like,
it's like she's saluting you.
Mwah,
she's saluting you? No?
So gorgeous.
It's like she's saluting you?
She's looking into the distance. What's wrong with you?
The Affliction. That's what I was trying to say earlier. That was the game that we played a little demo of, but I haven't, like, I don't own that game.
Oh, yeah, and because they have all sorts of, like,
that's a big
lore with
game.
that and everything. Yes.
Big, huge boxes of lore.
Yes.
Boxes and boxes and boxes of lore.
Same Hog. Something to do with getting on a train at a certain time, a certain day. It was a mess, even with the walkthrough.
Yeah. Yeah, see what I'm talking about?
Comparatively to the other sort of games that we've seen, because we just had like Seventh Continent come out with this. Like, what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, this is probably way more approachable than like a Seventh Continent.
I think so too. I think so too.
There's not to like directly compare them, but this is going to give you that same kind of type of vibe where it's a narrative story where you're exploring things. But this is just going to be intuitive. Like, I go explore tiles. I can interact with the tiles. I run from the horror, nightmare horror guy. Like, it's very just what you would expect with still giving you kind of like a puzzly, choose your own adventure style, but way more approachable. You can play this with like kids, grandparents, all kinds of different people.
Well, and that's kind of where I landed with this was like, okay, we just had this big Seventh Continent thing, but the rule book for that game is, that's like a 20-page rule book or something like that. Like, this one you're going to be able to get into very quickly. You're going to be able to get to the table. It is going to be intuitive whenever you're playing it. It's very easy to see where things are going. There's numbers on there, and then you flip to pages on certain things, and you can use cards, and the cards aren't overly like complex in the fact that like you're like, all right, you have to do this to do that. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
probably
it's
not
very
9,000 icons.
Right, exactly. It's not 9,000 icons, which I love Seventh Continent, but that Seventh Continent is a gamer's game, I feel like.
Yeah, well, it can be kind of complex at times and everything, and it's very grim dark, where this is kind of like, although it's like you're in a nightmare, it doesn't seem like it's overly dark, right? It's kind of still pretty to look at.
Right, absolutely. I think this is going to be a good, if you are interested in those type of games.
Narrative exploration type games.
Right, this is going to be a perfect start for you to get like dip your toes.
New thing? Narrative exploration. I'm pretty sure I came up with that. Hashtag trademarked. Ask me before you use it, please.
So Ryan says, Julie, they did a great job with those minis. Oh, I'll bite how much for this, says Nosferatu. Okay, so this is $30. That's the other thing. Everyone, this is $30.
For like the standee version, right?
This is $30.
For like the retail version is $30. But it's going to be $40 in retail normally. So this one actually legitimately is going to save you money by buying on Kickstarter.
Everyone. I don't think you understand.
Everyone.
This is $30 for the art that's involved in it, for the story. Julie, how did you do that? How did you do that?
Well, there's different versions because there's the $30 version and then there's the $60 version which has like the minis and stuff in it.
Yeah.
So you get to pick, which is really nice. But for $30, I mean, it's kind of like, especially if you're just like on a budget and you want like an exploration type of game that you can play with anybody, $30 is like so cheap.
The art and the story alone, like that's an amazing price. An amazing price.
The art was done by elves, and you don't have to pay them with money. So.
I don't think that's you still have to pay the elves.
No, cookies.
No, you still have to pay the elves.
Give them cookies.
Cookies cost money.
Not the cookies I make.
What cookies do you make?
Dirt cookies?
What?
Why'd you keep going with the joke? You just give them a little tree, a little house?
It makes no sense.
They make cookies?
Ryan says that's only 2 burritos. That's only 2. That's right. It's only 2 burritos.
Julie bakes the cookies. See? Problem solved. So what you do is you have some Keebler elves in one part of your house, and then you have the art elves in the other one. So Keebler elves make the cookies. You give the cookies to the other elves, and then you pay the Keebler elves in art.
I was blown away by the price of this game, and I thought, oh my gosh.
Not about my economic lesson on how to
not about that cookie economic lesson. No, that's how also you get people to move stuff in your house, is you offer cookies.
Pizza and beer.
Yeah.
Pizza and beer, please move my stuff.
And then you get people to move your stuff in your house. Like, that's how it works, okay?
See, there's more minis planned, too.
Okay, and Battlecry says, my family worked for Keebler. Let's see here. We have more. Yes, that's what Derek said. We have more minis planned. Let's see here. Are cookies included in the game? They are not. Apologies, Drawlab. You have to make those on your own. I'm sure, though, Julie does have some fantastic recipes to share, okay?
I was just thinking about that. I'm like, that if enough people asked, Julie would make a cookie for everybody and ship it out.
That's true, right?
I don't want to put that on her plate, though. She's a little busy. A little busy.
Jay Peters asks a really good question. I just got the folklore stuff. I don't think I would have time for this.
Oh, I feel like this one's much easier just to jump in and out of.
Absolutely.
Than folklore, because folklore is so expansive, right? You're going to spend hours and days in that world, right? Like, but this one, I feel like you can jump in, play for an hour and a half, jump back out, jump back in, and it's not as big of a deal. It's not so, see, cookie stretch goal.
Yeah, that's right.
I think this one is one that you can play in a normal night without feeling like, if I put this down, I can't come back to it.
Oh, absolutely, I agree. And
like some of the legacy type games, you kind of like have to keep them on your table otherwise, right?
I think that too, this one here, as we were talking about, it is, when you put it out on the table, it's going to be a draw. Kids are going to like the look of it. You're going to have adults that are going to be interested in what's going on here in the game. And then it's not going to be overly complex with the fact that, like, well, it's more of a gateway game. You can make this game into a gateway game very, very easily, and I like that. Does that make sense?
Yes, I am aware.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do you know about gateway games? Do you know about the gateway games?
Is this something new like Myst? Please tell me more about this thing. A cookie in every box. Not really the selling point we're hoping for. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. You could do like what Hats did and put like one of those plastic cookies in there that looks good enough to eat.
Cookies not included. The only question I think I really have is, do we have, Julie, any sort of snippet on like a small little story portion on this?
Well, before you play, I think that's what the channel's called. If you go down with like Monique and...
Oh, okay, yes.
That couple, they did one, and they have like a little bit of story where they talked about finding the woman, but they didn't actually go into if they were to like the two options. The
decisions on it and everything.
They said normally we would actually help this lady in some way, shape, or form, but since we don't want to spoil the story, we're not going to. So there's a little bit of it on there.
So if you are on the fence, I would go ahead and take a look at those.
Snippet right there. Oh, where'd it go? The middle as if struck by lightning. The surrounding area has an ethereal look that's very different from home. You were lost somewhere in a foreign land. Probably Jamaica.
Jamaica's beautiful too, by the way.
Just saying.
All right, Dr. Gloryhogg and chat. What are you thinking about this game? Would you back this game? It's $30. It's 2 burritos.
Yeah, that's like super easy.
2 burritos. You could get this game instead of like 1 going out to eat. less than one going out to eat, like DrGloryhogg.
Yeah, I would definitely back it. So Julie's saying they're going to have a few live plays, but there's always spoilers. Well, kind of like what happened with our 7th Citadel. There was definitely spoilers as we were going through it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we don't want to get some channels will not do spoilers, and they'll do it like very nicely. I know, like
and we don't care.
We'll and we don't care. We will just go ahead and tell you ahead of time. And we will spoil the heck out of everything.
This is gonna be a spoiler.
That's what we do.
Spoiler, I won Starfarer's Catan last night, but you'll never guess how. See, there's a clickbait right there.
We totally
get that.
Guess
how.
We totally get that, Julie. So Nosferatu says, I backed it now, wanting the add-ons. Let's see here.
There you go. You can play right now at Shucks.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's fantastic. So if you can sign up for Shucks, then you can go ahead and play the game. This is the game I will wait for retail. No FOMO, says Jay Peters. Well, you know what? All I do have to say is, 1, I would back this game, and then 2, that Greenbrier Games is a smaller publisher, and Kickstarter games are how they do their business and stuff. Like it keeps them alive.
If you go look up Julie, she has I think 19 titles, part of Greenbrier. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And does stuff with Gamma, and does stuff with the You're Invited, and does there's just a million things.
Julie's an amazing person, and I want to back this game. Like really, really bad. Like really, really bad. It looks amazing.
This was an easy one because you actually had it on our calendar, like when it was going to launch.
So excited.
As soon as I saw it pop up, I'm like, okay, this one's probably
dang it! I said the thing. I said the thing.
You said
I said the thing.
Is Petter ruining it?
Let's see your
Dumbledore's the Dementor. Spoilers. Oh my god.
Morning, guys. I will back it at the cheap price, says Aussie Solo Gamer. See, I'm telling you, $30.
Right, and it's going to be $40 in the store.
Right?
$40. You want to spend $10 extra?
That's one more burrito.
I don't think so.
That's one more burrito not without guac. It's without guac. Okay, one more burrito without guac. All right, moving on. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, Julie. We really appreciate you coming on to talk to everybody in our chat. We know you are super busy. So moving on here. Oh, Nosferatu says, I've never played a Greenbrier game before. Well,
I would definitely
now you can.
You should definitely take and this is not just to plug it, but you should look at our Champions of Hara to get an idea of some of the storytelling that can be in the games. It's really good.
Absolutely. Hello, Mepper. How are you doing? Don't forget about shipping, says Andrew. That's true. But we don't like to talk about shipping,
We don't talk about shipping because I like to believe it's a sunk cost.
I basically go ahead and do the shipping costs and everything. DrGloryhogg never sees it. He never sees it.
So in my mind, all these games cost exactly what the pledge is. There's no tax. There's no shipping. I don't see any of that. And you know what? I sleep better because of it.
And you do sleep better. And we back more Kickstarters because of that. So
I'm sure those Roxley Iron Clays, it was just the price that they showed me. I'm sure there was no extra shipping.
No shipping at all for those. No shipping at all. Next up, we have Campaign Trail. Now this one here is being reprinted by Gray Fox Games. It was originally
Cosmic
Wombat Games on this week here. This is for 1 to 8 players, should last about 118 minutes on this one here. Basically, what you're going to be doing is this is all about becoming president. And you're running a campaign, and you have these different campaign cards that you go through, and you're playing these campaign cards. And then you also have these debates, and you're trying to win over each state as either a Republican, a Democrat, or a Libertarian. And now they added the Green Party in their latest expansion. So this is for the expansion. And then you can get the base game if you don't know about it. And this, I feel like, is a game that kind of flew under the radar. Doctor, do you know, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I know about this game because Game Boy Geek talks about it constantly.
He does.
And then he got Greg to play it. You guys remember Greg, guy who sat over here that said, I have to try before I buy. He was about this tall. I don't know, something. That guy that used to be on our show all the time?
Oh, yeah, that one guy.
And he would talk about it a lot, too. How it's a very, very, tight area control game.
Yeah.
So that's how I know about it. So I knew about it from that, but I have never had a chance to play it. And there was always a bunch of just them talking about how great it is and how tight it is and how it's very swinging the last minute. And then of course Dan did a video. He even serenades it. He gets out his sax. He's like, Game Boy Geek was yeah, not messing around. Yeah. His game of the year. That doesn't surprise me. He talks about it constantly.
I want to go over some
and just so you guys know, behind the scenes at his house, it does take up a little shelf cube. It is up. Mm-hmm. He's got it displayed.
He's very selective. Very selective with his games. I want to go over some of the comments here really quick. So Peter says, the election stuff on TV gets annoying, so I have no desire to play a game about it. Totally 100% understand that. Nosferatu also says 118, the number, not 117, 119 too much, but 118.
Perfect.
Mwah! Exactly.
Exactly.
Yay, turtles for the green party. Let's see here.
So what's very interesting about this game is typically I stay away from politics. Now, when I say that, I watch political shows all the time, basically just to be really mad constantly.
Just to make yourself angry.
I like to flip around, watch stuff from both sides, and just get, which that makes me mad, the both sides thing. I mean, there's should be like a million different sides. But anyways, I watch a lot of political stuff on, basically just to make myself really angry for the day about everything, because I kind of hate everything, and all things, so much so. What's nice about this, though, is it's not so much about your stances on like, on gun control or on marriage or any of that kind of stuff. It's about like the process of like securing the electoral college votes in the different cities without it being like this is my stance on gun control, this is my stance on this, where you're getting these awkward conversations with people. It's more about the process with that stuff, like without your actual political opinion involved.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this game has some really interesting portions to it.
Yeah, there's no politics actually in it. It's like the process.
Right. So, one, I think this is a fantastic learning game for any sort of history teacher or anything like, or government or any sort of teacher that has anything to do when talking about the government electoral process and everything like that. This would be a fantastic game to pick up for any sort of teacher teaching anything like that, because they have a ton of information on there, okay? And I really, really like how they do the scoring boards in this, that whenever you do take over a state, and you move that state, and the state is as long as how many like votes go toward that, and you move that.
So you can see immediately, like, oh, you took Pennsylvania? That's a problem. I like lost a lot of support.
That's right.
They've got a good tying mechanism whenever you tie in an area, because a lot of area control games, if there's a tie, it's just kind of like a null value, right? Like nothing happens, but there's tiebreakers on every single every single state. So like if a state is heavy red or heavy blue or whatever, or heavy libertarian, has a tiebreaker on there.
It has such a fantastic visualization of what's happening without involving actual politics.
Right. Which I think is really hard to do.
Really, really hard to do, and I really, really like that, like a lot. And I love the fact that not only did they add the libertarians, but they're also doing the Green Party now in there.
So there's 4 sides, yeah.
Right, and the more that we get that out there, more people realize that there's other parties out there and stuff like that, like it just adds to everything. You know what I'm saying? Like more people become aware of those things. Maybe somebody didn't know that there was a Green Party and that there's libertarians out there. You know, there's young kids out there just getting into voting and stuff like that that might not know all of these things. So I really like the teaching portion of this, as well as the mechanics based on it. And then you have the whole debate portion of this, which I'm really excited about as well.
Yeah, so really the crux of the game comes down to 2 things, right? It comes down to area control, which is 100% your jam.
Yeah.
And then multi-use cards, which is definitely more my jam, where you're deciding like, do I want to try to make money off this card? Do I want to use it for the debate? Do I want to use it to influence things? So you have to really pick like what side of the card you want to use and win, which cards you want to hold back, which ones you want to use.
Right.
So that hand management, which
right
I
there.
really enjoy that, where you're like, how do I maximize what I have in my hands here and win with just what I've got? Oh, hi, Kitty.
Oh, hi, Wesley.
So I think that part is very, very interesting. That's the part that excites me the most, because in general, I don't like area control as much as you do.
Absolutely. So
and you can play to multiple players, which most of these games are always 2-player, like Watergate's 2-player. A lot of the other election-y type games are always 2 players, right?
Right.
But with this one, it's a different situation because you can play it with multiple players. You can even play it solo, and it goes up to where you can even play it with teams if you've got a bigger group. So there's a lot of different options there.
I liked the team portion, too. I thought that was really interesting as well.
Well, I'm just glad that, like, this game, I always feel like area control games get better when you have, like, more people, typically. So if you could only play this 2-player, that'd be kind of upsetting. But to play it at 3 players or 4 players would really change things. So somebody taking, like, a state from you could dramatically change the whole layout of everybody. And then everybody's like, oh my gosh, I need to like focus on different states now, and can I get that state back, and doing all these different things, which is I think is very, very interesting.
Cats have taken over chat.
Yeah.
Let's hear. Let's take a look.
But she knows she's not supposed to be up on this beautiful Game Toppers by Game Toppers LLC. I'm so good at casually mentioning stuff.
You are so good. I want to look at some of our comments here. Let's see here. Let's see if there's anything super
Well, I
important
like the Undead Viking, so obviously Gray Fox was saying that there's actually you can actually win as a libertarian or as the Green Party in this one, because it's not like, you got special stuff like where you start and everything, but it is very different.
So, okay, Ended Viking says, you can also play teams, and Jeremy Howard Jambalaya plays games, then says the solo game is even tougher than playing human opponents. Really? That's really interesting. So, I really like the team factor in this a lot. I think team factor would be such a fun play, and I like the fact that it does. I mean, how many games go from 1 to 8 players and play really well?
Not many.
Yeah.
Not many. There's a few. There's a few bigger player count games, like Asking for Troubles is one of those ones that you can play it like at 2 player and it's still fun. You can play it at 7 players, it's still fun. But there's a lot of games that are kind of specific. I mean, Starfire's Catan was like, you can play this at 3, or you can play it at 4, or you can not play it. So I think it's like really interesting. Cat party stretch goal. That should be a party right there. I'd vote for cats.
1 second here. We're getting an issue that we have coming up.
What's wrong?
Oh, everything's going really slow all of a sudden.
Like what, on the screen?
Like everything, yeah. Let us know if you're having issues at home really quick.
Oh, like your computer with, okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. I don't know. I mean, it looks like the video is going slow. I can't tell if we're slow, though.
All right, well, Dr. Gloryhogg, what are your thoughts on this game? So if you want to go ahead and pick up the whole thing, like the base game, you're looking at $44 for the regular non-deluxe portion. If you're just trying to get the green party and everything, then you're looking at $27. So I like that they do have all of the different
tiers.
Yes, different tiers.
There
exactly.
We go.
Different tiers.
Like a cake. It's the cat. The cat always does it. Whenever she comes, she steals all of our bandwidth.
That's how it works.
Well, I'm a little jumpy anyway. I had an energy drink earlier. I might have some coffee. So, I mean, this is pretty normal. It's prime Fortnite time.
Oh,
that makes sense.
That's fair. That's fair. So, yeah, I'm super down with this game. I want to say I'd back this game.
For a... Because it's almost like the political theme is definitely a huge part of it, right? But, like, it's not a politics game, which normally would turn me off. I'm like, I do not want to typically play a politics-laden game. But since it's based off the whole overall idea, I could see definitely playing this one.
Okay. Well, I want to back this one. Like, I'm down.
Not surprised.
I'm down.
You love area
I want
control.
to do this so bad. Like, I've been interested in it since I heard Dan talk about it and Greg talk about it. And, like, it has fantastic Board Game Geek ratings. Like, in that 7.9, like, going on 8 range there. So, I mean,
which is hard to get, actually.
Super hard to get. So, I think
because I rate everything a 1.
Went
everything.
under the radar a little bit,
do
and not as many people know about it. And maybe, especially right now, having a polarized political thing going on, you may be, like, have a little bit more, like...
hesitancy
yes,
to, like,
to back something like this. But this is a good game. Like, this is a really good game. And you're gonna be sad, I think, if you miss it. Because it's gonna be a fantastic area control game and hand management game. I love... the two combine. The two combine is perfect. Like, it takes all of the luck chance stuff out of things. And, like, every single decision you make, like, is either going to, like, wreck you in the end, or it's going to be, like, super successful, and you're going to feel, like, super fantastic about yourself in the end, okay?
Whenever you tell me all of that, like, whenever you tell me a game is, like, super strategic, I just think, oh, God, how long is it going to take for her to take her turn?
How dare you, Doctor?
Oh, my gosh.
You only play 1 card a turn.
Yeah, you would think that would speed things up, but I don't know. With you, it's a little bit of a thing.
J. Peter says, Dr. Hogg is jumpy because he didn't get to the spaceport last night. You know what? That's Dr. Hogg's issue. Dr. Hogg had not ran off with that intergalactic prince. This would have not been an issue. Okay, J. Peters?
The prince just liked the goods that I had to sell.
Thank you so much, Dos.
Anna Meeples are making a comeback, baby. Ow!
Oh, yeah.
All in on the Anna Meeples. I'm impressed that they found a way to get Anna Meeples into this. Because most games that have anything to do with anything political or governmental or thing are just ugly. They're just ugly-looking games.
And
this is not an ugly-looking game.
It's pretty.
So there's that.
I'm down with this. All right. So, Dr. Gloryhougg, would you back this?
No.
How dare you? How dare you? I want to back this game.
Right. I think I think the thing that throws me off the most about it is it's an area control game, which is just not my favorite style of mechanism. But that being said, I would definitely give it a try because of that hand resource management aspect of it. Because I do like Tyrants of the Underdark because it's a deck builder with area control. So I feel like if area control is mixed with something else, it makes it more palatable for me and more willing to try it. But area control is definitely your thing. So I always like lean on your opinion if it's something you think you'll like. If it's a roll and write or area control, I'm like, well, do you like it?
No area control for shame, says Kabuki Kid.
I don't. It's just not my favorite. Like, it's not my favorite mechanic in a game. So typically, I don't go out of my way to purchase them. But if you're gonna purchase one, this one is a really good one. I mean, geez, even like I don't even think Game Boy Geek plays a lot of area control, really.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't, and he was super psyched about this game. All right, let us know in chat if you are going to be backing this game. You're going to have to stay tuned, though, for our number one. We still have our
because so far you're like back.
Well, it's hard whenever I choose all the Kickstarters. I want to back them all, of course. Like, that's how it works.
That's fair.
Next up, we have TacTiki, which is such a cute name.
Tactical Tikis.
This is by Drawlab. It's for 2 players. It should last about 30 minutes. I really appreciated the beautiful video they had in here. This video is gorgeous. Like, just gorgeous. I'm sorry, I'm turning into like a video snob now after watching all these Kickstarters.
Wow.
The video on this was so, I mean, because this is just like a little tactical game that you're playing where it's almost chess-like or...
No, this game is Stratego.
Well, okay.
Here, all right. So here's the deal.
Go ahead.
So this game, of course, it made it on my list because, you know, it looked interesting. And then I kind of got to the point where I was like, I've already got Stratego. Why would I play this? And then as I looked at it more, hold on.
How dare you?
I looked at it more. It's not just like Stratego. It's like Stratego. It's like rock, paper, scissors. It's like chess. It's like all these classic games in one. But here's the one thing. Not only does it look better, it combines a bunch of different like kind of classic-y style games that you'd like. And my kid loves Stratego. And I've bought Stratego like multiple times in my life. It's the most played game I think I have. Even more than Monopoly is probably Stratego. I think this is just going to be overall better for a couple different reasons. There's more strategy. There's more like little games that you have to play because you can't just back up. You have to move forward. And then you have to stack on top of yourself in order to win. If you stack a 3 on top of a 3, the bottom 3 is locked down. So it has like a lot of those, like, what do they call those games?
Abstract?
Yes. It's got a lot of abstract games, which are not usually my thing. But when I really looked at it, I think I'd rather play this than Stratego.
Yeah.
Because Stratego has such a long setup time, and it takes a really long time, and my kid usually wants to play it 3 or 4 times back to back, and it ends up being like this huge, long night, which is fine. I would rather play this. And I don't typically play a lot of chess. I do play a lot of Stratego. I would rather play this over both of those, though. Yeah,
and I really enjoy abstract games. Like, abstract games are my jam. I love chess. I love, what's the hex one I really like? With the little bugs on their little hexes. I can never remember the name of it. You all know which one I'm talking about. Aquilina. Like, I really
love those little abstract games.
Enjoy games that give you very limited movement portions, and then you have to have Hive. That's right. And then you have to go ahead.
I totally guessed it. I didn't read what Kabuki said.
Thank you.
She forgets it every time.
See,
she forgets Hive every single time.
I do.
So war chess is one that she really wants, but I kind of was like, oh no, I don't know, because typically I don't like abstract as much.
I want war chess so badly. So badly.
I told her she could buy it the other day, though. I was like, sure, go for it. You should buy it. And then she was like, oh, I don't know.
War chest is like, isn't it made by the same people that did Undaunted? Isn't that the same designer? Undaunted was good. That had some really fantastic ideas in it. So
at first I went from like I'm going to pass on it, to now I'm actually thinking like, I think we should back this.
Absolutely. So with this one here, well, I just gave away my thing. Absolutely, I want to back this, okay? The price on this is $35 as a starting price, where you can get the box and the board. They have like an upgraded crazy one that we'll take a look at here in a minute.
Yeah, but I think that's beautiful.
Really like the Stratego-like idea of this, where you have this loop of numbers here where the 1 does take over the 5 and everything. So
the 5 beats everything else.
Right, you're battling for that, trying to take out the person's pieces in order just to make way so you can get to their side of the board, and then also strategically stack up your own pieces, which again is another task all in its own with limited movements, and that just is like my jam all over. Like, I'm so excited about this. I also really liked the Polynesian themed Tikis on here. Like, I started reading about that and I was like, oh, that's so fantastic, because that is one of those cultures that I don't think you see integrated a lot into stuff, unless it's just like they just do a all over like Islanders thing, like Blue Lagoon. They're just like, and then the island people, or you know what I'm saying, or Tungaroo, and then the island people. So like that was really nice.
That's fair. Yeah, and I think everything in it looks really good. Like, there's nothing bad I have to say about it. At first, I was worried it'd be too light or that I wouldn't enjoy it. But like I said, when I really, really sat and thought about it, I'm like, I would much rather play this over a lot of those other ones. And we played a lot of other ones. Like, we played, what's that dragon one we used to play? It's like...
Tatsu?
Yeah, is that Tatsu?
I think it was Tatsu, yeah.
It's like by some 41 or something.
But then there's like Sakaru, I think. Sakaru?
We played a lot of different, like...
with like little birds and stuff that I love. I love that one.
You really like abstract games. I don't usually like them as much, but like I said, I think this is one I would rather play over some of the other ones.
Tonari is another good one.
For me, this has a spot on our shelf because I think I would just get rid of Stratego maybe.
What? Did you just say you'd get rid of Stratego for this?
I think so. Just because the amount of enjoyment you get from Stratego can sometimes be complicated by how long it can be. And with the, like, going back and forth, going back and forth, going back and forth. I think this solves a lot of that, where you can get in a quick game in, but still have like that strategy of feeling like I like hunted somebody down, I found some stuff.
J. Peter says, I back this. It seems interesting, and the pieces look fantastic. I agree, right? Let's see here. Beto says the expansion is great to have too.
I think
extra
they're talking
goodies
about War Chest, though.
On War Chest?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. We will also be running demos for TacTiki during Shucks, so you can play the game with us there. Ooh, that's good to know. Thank you so much, Drawlab. We will be there live tonight after the video and during the weekend. Perfect. I'm so glad Kind of Shucks is going on right now, so we can talk about these and then people can instantaneously go and look at their stuff, right?
Find a game of it.
All right, where's their big box stuff? Hold on. Where's the big box stuff? Did I miss it?
I think you
did. I hope I didn't miss. Okay. We're getting to it.
This reminds me when you got like that premium, like, Stratego or something, or chest
so
with like
pretty.
with the onyx pieces or something.
Pretty. The lower value number or lower position number, the lower value number. So a 5 is going to take over a 3 and crush a 3, and that, but except for a 1 will always be able to beat out a 5 in that. So it's just the number values on that. Let's see here. We have, so this board here. I love that this is a case. This reminds me of backgammon. This is a really pretty case that opens, then you can have all your pieces that go in there and everything. Like, the case on this is gorgeous. So pretty. And if you don't necessarily like the case, they also have, a neoprene mat. We got a neoprene mat add-on.
Which is nice. I like that. Like, I don't need a neoprene mat, but I think that is kind of a nice little add-on.
It's pretty.
I
like the lava.
And I don't know the exact conversion of 12 GDP or whatever to Americanized dollars, but seems like that's a very inexpensive player mat.
So
overall.
Let's see here. Nosferatu says, "Ooh, pretty box.
Yeah.
Are there snack stretch goals?" Important question is, Drawlabs, do you have any snack stretch goals in this?
I think technically you could put these tikis in your pocket, and then you could use the actual foam tray to store snacks. Just saying.
I would not recommend that, but you probably could do that. Okay, you probably could. What? Let's see here. What is this?
There's a miniatures ink wash with the deluxe upgrade.
Oh, very nice.
There's a lot of really nice things. I like that you kind of have the options of going for one or the other. You're not like, you can get this one or that one. Like,
obstacle tiles would be really interesting. Like, that's a spicy way to go ahead and, change up gameplay with that. That would be really interesting. Ooh, okay, I'm excited.
Tikis.
Chocolate tikis would be really awesome. Then you could eat them. Like, as soon as you crush them, you'd be like, all right, one more for me. That would be incentive to win for sure. A pina colada cocktail mix in every box.
I feel like somebody is.
That would also be good.
I feel like somebody's gonna engineer these where they can put little airplane bottles of liquor in the tikis, and so when you go over, you're like and then drink. I don't know. I'm not advocating for this, but you do what you want with your own game.
That's the adult game. Okay, we're gonna need some of those little plastic form things. We can pour the chocolate in there. We can make little chocolate tikis. We put the liquor in there.
There you go. All these things.
I'm not saying that You should do that. If you're a kid, you
that would be amazing though. If you got on top, if you ended up like on top of somebody else's tiki and you beat them, and then you got to like eat the chocolate tiki underneath. But oh, that's the other thing about this game, which is interesting. So it's not just move forward and that's it. It's move forward. You can jump up onto another tiki. You can also spend your turn to get one of your tikis that got taken out back from the grave back.
Ooh.
Which I thought was really interesting because a lot of times otherwise you get like locked out, like chess style, right? Where you're like,
then you're never
I'm locked out.
And
yeah, you're not locked out. You skip your turn to kind of bring one back to the grave, but you're not completely locked out. So I thought that was actually really good.
I like the wood-like looking pieces washed because whenever I look at those tikis, I instantaneously want them to be wood already. And I know that that would probably not be a super great option for the price and everything, but having them look like it would add so much to the table presence of the game.
It'd be really easy to wash these.
And I think that this is a game you could take to, say, your parents, like if you have older parents and stuff that are familiar with games like backgammon and stuff and chess and older classic games, and they'll instantaneously understand this game.
Like Trouble with the Pop-O-Matic bubble?
No, not those ones. Not those ones. The really classic, nice games, okay?
Whoa. The Pop-O-Matic bubble is no joke.
Having the wood-like look to it will like bring them back a little bit and maybe make them want to play even more with this themed game.
You don't reveal which one you bring back either. So when you bring one back, you're like, I'm bringing back my 5, but it's really your 1.
And you're like,
yeah, see? Pop-O-Matic, hey, unsubscribe. The Pop-O-Matic was revolutionary.
Oh, Kabuki Kid.
As a little brother, I like the not being locked out mechanic. That's fair. Ryan may have been locked out a few times in our lives.
Oh my gosh, Trouble has such crap qualities these days. It's incredible. Playing that game just makes me so angry. Trouble is like...
I'll tell you the game that made me...
Or what was it? Sorry.
No, the game that made me the most frustrated that we played, like, after our kid got a little bit older and we'd gotten into these other, like, newer games, was going back and playing something like Cooties. We were like, I'm going to sit here for... I sat there for 23 turns trying to roll...
You're like, just give me some
just to
legs.
Get the body.
I just want the legs.
No, just to start. I literally went 23 turns before I even got to like get my very first piece that I could use to start. I think like your body, you have to roll 1 or something, and I went 23 turns like not rolling a 1, and I was like, this is horrible.
That's because you're so lucky and you only roll 6s. If you would just not be as dang lucky, doctor.
Good in dice throw, bad in cooties.
All right, everyone. So I would like to back this game. This is going to be a tough week for me because this looks fantastic.
You're going to have to control yourself.
I don't want to.
But maybe if we go in on like the 2 base level pledges, you could get like
if we just do
tic-tac and you could get...
If we just do base pledges all across. I mean, if we do base... And we haven't even gotten to the next... You know what? Let's get to the next one.
God.
I can't add up this pricing right now, okay?
Yikes.
All right, moving on. Let us know in chat if you are backing TacTiki. I really like the name too. Tactical. TacTiki. It's so cute. Maybe I'll start saying that about normal games.
I'm going to get like one of those vests, like a tactical vest with all these tikis in it, and be like, TacTiki.
Operation is a heart attack in a box, okay? If you're playing Operation, you're having mild heart attacks while also playing that game, because that game is stressful.
I think we all know that things are made today to break down, specifically so you'll buy another copy of something.
Oh my gosh.
So yes, a lot of the games today are not as good when you're talking about the retail market.
The retail market? Yeah,
well, I should say the big... Well, you know, not even retail market.
Your Hasbro, your big box store.
Style games.
Yeah. Although, there's some really great ones that are moving out to the retail market. So, Kabuki Kid says, I'm curious, but I would truly want to try this first. Well, they are doing stuff on Shucks, so make sure to check that out. Just go to Shucks. And thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate the publishers showing up today as we're doing our show, so all of you can ask them questions, and they're here to answer everything for all of you. We really, really appreciate that. So, Project L, I wasn't interested until I saw the Dice Tower playthrough on this one, says Petter.
Yeah.
The game comes across as very Hasbro for me. The Project L one?
No, TacTiki, I think.
Let's see here. Project L. Oh, that has good abstractness about it. Okay.
Yeah, so Project L is interesting because this was one that was like an immediate pass for me. After I looked at it, I was like, I'm not interested in it.
It has some great mechanics. You're loving it, though.
I know. When I started watching it, I mean, look at this tough guy. If he can play, I can
also
play.
like such a fun video. They did such a great... I love that shot right there.
I like just like the tough guy.
So pretty.
Hey, you're a tough guy. So I'm like, I want to be a tough guy one day. When I grow up, I'm going to be a tough guy. I already wrote it down on my vision board.
This video is a masterpiece.
I think what was interesting about this was being able to take like that master turn where you like get to put a piece out on all of them and then like trigger getting a whole bunch of pieces and then get all your pieces back. I thought that was pretty cool. And then the finesse stuff adds in where you get the coins. You can do different things with the coins if you're doing like these little goals. So I went from being like, this is just Tetris, the board game, to going, okay, there is a little bit of engine building I can see. Because at first I didn't see the engine building, but I'm like, I can see what they're saying. Engine building as far as like what access to what pieces you have. But I do like the idea of completing things that trigger other things. So
this one here is for 1 to 4 players. It's going to last about 20 to 40 minutes on this. And hopefully our stuttering will stop. I mean, we could always dance. We could always do the robot.
Let's see if it's still going on. Let's see what's going on. There's something about this 12 o'clock time slot that seems to be worse than our other time slots, just bandwidth-wise. And I don't know if it's because everyone's supposed to be at work, but it's on me.
I'm making like the super awesomest robot moves right now.
No, you're not. You're doing like a hula. Why are you lying?
You don't know how it looks whenever I'm looking all robot-like on here. You don't know how many frames we're dropping. That could be gold right there, okay? So yeah, with this here, I really like the building portion on it. Are you watching it right now?
Yeah, because I
see, look at it. See?
All right. Fair enough. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
I really like the engine building here. And I love the fact that whenever you are like creating these, like whenever you finish them out, you get pieces and then that builds on things. And like the bigger engine you get running on this thing, the more stuff you can complete and faster. Like, it's so interesting. I hadn't even heard about this game until I saw this. And I was like, what?
I did. Where did I see it? What I think is interesting is the pricing is pretty good considering all these like tiles that are like the double layer tiles.
58, yeah. 58.
Yeah, they have all these double layer tiles in them. And then you've got like little plastic pieces, which can be expensive.
I believe Dr.GloryHogg was bragging about his dancing skills on Discord.
I did. I invented a few couple dances there.
The Glorybrier just made up a fantastic dance. It was killer. It was killer. Did you want to show?
I don't know how to do a dance.
You don't know how to do the dance?
No. How did it go?
God, I don't want to do it because it's ridiculous.
I used to do the worm not well, and it used to hurt a lot, but I would do it.
These little pieces are so adorable. Reminds me of playing Tetris.
Are they a choking hazard? Is this safe for most Americans?
Gosh,
I don't think it is.
Don't eat the pieces, everyone. Okay.
Like Aussie solo gamer is going to be fine because they could like not eat the pieces.
Aussie solo gamers, yeah, they know instinctively
not to eat the pieces.
Instinctively because they're not American.
Americans will eat the pieces.
Yeah,
apparently.
Americans are just crazy like that. Americans, stop eating these things.
And I bring this up because I was watching like the Toys That Made Us, and they were talking about the different health or the different safety standards from like Japan versus America, and I was like, why? And it was like, well, the American one had to have a dulled blade out of plastic instead of the metal one that could potentially be sharpened. I'm like, why are we sharpening our Power Ranger toys? They use them as weapons? Come on, America. Come on. We don't need this.
Why are we striking so hard that we can't have the sharpened weapons is what it is. Like, there's sharpened weapons, but why are we striking people so hard with those?
I don't know.
Yes, don't eat the pieces. Forbidden candies. It's forbidden. It tastes better.
It tastes better because I'm not supposed to eat it.
That's pretty much our dog's motto.
That's true.
I'm sorry, we're so derailed on this.
Most other streams, this looks great. Our stream, don't eat the pieces, guys. Come on. You're better than this.
Absolutely, Drawlabs. The Toys That Made Us Great is a fantastic show.
So is the movies that made us. Like, them talking about Dirty Dance, and I was like, that's why it's #1.
If you haven't seen it, definitely check that out. All right, we got to finish this stream.
The time of my life.
We got to finish the stream because our internet's getting crazy. Should we do the lift? No.
Do the lift on camera. Come on. Okay.
I'm not doing the lift.
If you guys didn't see the lift, it's because of lag.
You can do this burrito lift.
The time of my life. Oh, sorry.
All right. If my mouse works.
So this is another interesting one. I don't know. The expansion's cool, but I think probably just the regular game is probably legit too. You know, like sometimes I'm like, oh, the expansion makes it look amazing. I think I'd just play it regular.
I think so too.
How do you feel about that?
I feel like I'm Xing out of this. Maybe. Ugh.
Oh gosh. Ugh.
What
are you doing?
No.
What?
I'm over here. I'm over here.
Oh, God.
I'm Xing out of it. Hopefully that helps. All right, we're going to finish talking really quick. So, I like it.
I know you like it.
It's a good game. You all know that.
She likes everything.
I want all the things, everyone.
Yeah.
What are we going to back? What are you spending your burritos on?
TacTiki.
What?
Yeah.
What?
After playing like 30 games of tequila in a row, I want to play TacTiki instead.
You want to play TacTiki?
I'm still doing the lift.
All right, hold on. Let me look at my list.
It got super laggy.
It did get super laggy. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry.
You don't have to apologize. You didn't invent the internet.
The internet is bad. Bad internet. Bad.
You guys should stop using it, and maybe it would work better.
You know what? You guys right now, get together and make the internet better for me, okay? All right, so for me, I think that my number one, do you have any guesses as what my number one is?
Campaign Trail?
Ah, it's Campaign Trail. Campaign Trail,
That's
everyone.
fair. That's fair.
Lost Ones is already back during this video, says Nosferatu. Thankfully, the audio is still fine. Good, good. Stuttering burritos, though.
Acting all sus.
Everybody is sus. This is a sus stream now, man.
Stop it, you're killing Petter. He dies every time somebody says sus.
It's Wesley and Glorybear's fault, for real.
Stop it, you're killing Petter. He's gonna die.
Overall, price-wise, though, I would like to actually just go down and back the Lost Ones, Campaign Trail, and TacTiki on base levels just so we can pick them all up. Because this week's Kickstarters, there was a ton of them in that $30-ish range. And if you combined all of those, you could get 3 Kickstarters for the price of one.
I like it in her mind, like a Kickstarter costs $100 now. Like there's no other option. Like we can't spend less than $100.
Listen. I really just want the 3. I'll ask Greg to back Project L, and then we'll get all of them together.
Greg doesn't back things.
All right, let's see here. What are you all backing? Okay, and you know what? I would like to thank while we're here, let's thank our Patreon backers. I really appreciate all of our Patreon backers. We've gotten some new Patreon backers on there, and you all have funded me so I can go ahead and get Photoshop and stuff like that. So
I like Drawlab. They're like, I can't back TacTiki, so I'm going to back the Lost Ones instead.
Aww,
that's fair.
Oh, that was really nice. No, we really appreciate that because now I'm going to be able to do a lot more stuff with all of my pictures and everything, and a lot more stuff with our video content that we're creating because we're doing some previews and stuff for companies now. I'm really excited to be able to add that to my arsenal. So thank you so much. We really appreciate everybody that helps us out in the show.
Kevin mentioned Veiled Fate. So Veiled Fate is something we are very much aware of. It launched on Thursday, though, so there's no way we could get it onto the show fast enough. But actually tonight on Tabletop Backer Party, we are going to take our very first look at Veiled Fate and go through the campaign live. So.
All right, yeah, that's another thing. So we're doing the hype train now on the Tabletop Backer Party group, or Tabletop Backer Party page, as well as, it'll go to the group and we'll tweet it and do all sorts of stuff.
Right?
It's on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
And on Facebook.
What that is we will be looking at a Kickstarter for the very first time. Our raw reactions, the reactions that come to us as we're looking at these things in real time. That is what the hype train is all about. So you get to see our genuine reactions on these and what we think about them right off the bat. If we're confused, what's happening, if we like the art. Last week's hype train was ridiculous. We talked about the nothing in it. It was fantastic though and very adorable. So yes, I'm getting the entire Adobe suite because our Patreon backers were lovely enough to be able to make it so. I really appreciate that. That's going to be awesome. I'm excited. I got the whole Adobe suite and I'm excited to start doing stuff with it. Yes.
This was me last night.
We don't talk about last night's stream, okay? We don't talk about last night's stream. Mepper says, let's see here, Project L base game should be available from retail. Let's see here. Sounds like fun. Where can I watch that? we will actually go ahead and post a link on our Facebook, Twitter page and everything.
Yeah, or you can always go to Discord. I like to post things up there in Discord sometimes.
Our Discord should have a link for it. And if you just want to go ahead and search Facebook for Tabletop Backer Party, it is not the group, it is the page. You can join both of them, though, because we will go ahead and do it there as well, and then, like, you know, promote it on the other pages. Like, it's going to be so much fun.
So the Hype Train is sponsored by Tabletop Backer Party. That's where we're doing that particular show. Everything else we do here.
Absolutely.
And on the Game Boy Geeks channel. We're still everywhere. We are still mostly everywhere.
Tabletop Backer Party, if all of you don't know, is a...
Kickstarter group.
Kickstarter yes,
specifically.
But they specifically employ people of different genders, different colors. Like, it is going to be the place to go if you are looking for not the sort of like generic thing that you always see with board games and board game media.
A white guy with glasses and a hat?
So if you're interested in hearing different people's opinions from different cultures and stuff like that, then I would check out the Tabletop Backer Party, because they are making sure that that group is fostering and embodying that. So then people can go there and, like, you know, check other people out. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be really cool. So let's see here. What else we got going on? Anything else? We just got in the Mythic Games one.
We got in Super Fantasy Brawl. We have Factory 42. We'll be playing on Game Boy Geeks channel on Monday, I think. We've got previews to do for Shadow Network. I'm looking at Twisted Fables.
Got a lot of stuff going on.
We just did Jurassic Parks this week. Jurassic Parks.
Oh no, Project L is sold out on Cool Stuff Inc. and Miniature Market, not showing up on Amazon.
That's probably why they were reprinting it.
Then, yeah, you maybe need to score it from Kickstarter then.
We got in the Gugong expansion too. That's another big one.
Oh, and then the other thing is GameFound is going to be they're going to be launching, not Kickstarters, but crowdfunded projects.
Right, they're going to do the Awakened Realm one first.
If you are interested, yeah, they're going to do a huge game on that first. If you're interested in talking about that and hearing kind of like our opinions and everything on it, we might do a special stream for that, I think. If you're interested in just talking about how that's going to affect the market and everything.
Darkest Dungeons coming up. Yeah, there's a bunch of games coming up still.
Darkest Dungeons coming up.
Rune Lords is going to come back to Kickstarter sometime soonish, I believe.
That's right.
And things are delivering. Like Dwellings of Everdell, people are getting it. And I got Super Fantasy Brawl, so I should be getting my other Ameritrash game.
It's happening, everyone.
Tidal Blades is out in the wild. It's coming to the U.S.
Our Kickstarters are coming in.
Is coming in.
Our Kickstarters
They're coming in. They're coming in.
Thank you. Thank you, Kickstarter gods. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope all of you have a lovely, lovely weekend. And come check us out at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for our Hype Train today, okay? So all of you, we love you. Thank you for hanging out with us today. You guys make chat amazing.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Here's a fluffy kitty.
That way
just
you'll
for
get
you.
the link for the Hype Train.
Meow, 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 meow. Oh, she's so angry. Oh, she's so angry, everyone. That's for you. That's for you. No cat butt, though. No cat butt.
Don't make her angry and then give her to me.
No cat butt. Bye.